ATSF from interlocking tower from Walthers, and I try to get as close as possible to making these look realistic. I noticed this looks more like a concrete building, so I did some research and I found different ways to do concrete, but they were all long, complicated processes. So I'm kind of taking a shortcut here, because if you look at the texturing on this model, of course it says kit professionally assembled and painted. Well, I'm by far not a professional, but I've done models. Got back into it doing our model railroad with my son, youngest. But if you look at these, you don't see very much as far as a pattern that's similar to what's on the picture. So I'm going to try to come as close as possible to kind of simulate concrete walls, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Now, I am cheating a little bit. Did some research, and I found this Create Effects Snow Cap Naive 79602. Forgive me with the pronunciation. Hey, if you're a pronunciation specialist, hey, knock yourself out. But notice the pattern on this spray, and this is the color. So it's very close to what that is. So I'm going to try spraying this texture, and I'm just going to see how it turns out. All right, so I'll show you the finished product afterwards. Now I have on this back to our interlocking tower here. So I went and sprayed it with the Creative Effects texture pattern, and if you look closely now, you do see a pretty close concrete texture pattern, or a kind of a faux look, or a stucco look. It's really close to this. So the only thing I'm concerned about is if you look at there's like some wood trim that I normally would have in there. It's kind of covered up. I might kind of take a little knife or something and chisel that out, but I'll see how that works out. If not all is lost. We can make do with it, and we'll just get as close as we can. And so if you look, that pattern is not that much different from this pattern. So we're going to let this dry. I might add that before I painted this, I painted it with a dull coat flat. So we will take a look at this, let it dry, and again, if you look and compare it, you can see it's a lot similar to what was done here, except I've got to hope that this doesn't ruin the wood trim in there. If not, then we'll just deal with it. All right, that's it. We'll see what this turns out. Let it dry. All right, I have let the paint dry on the stucco concrete look, which was actually Tester's Creative Effects Snowcap Naive. Sorry about the pronunciation, but you notice it's got this texture pattern on the top. So on our building, I wanted a concrete look and a faux kind of look, like it's a type of concrete, and it's pretty cool. It dry. I thought it was going to be too cakey when it was wet, because I'm going to go back and put some trim on here, and this is for our interlocking tower, and it did an excellent job. I mean, I am really impressed. So I usually go back and put the weathering and stuff on it after I fully assemble the model and then kind of position it on my layout. But I am very impressed. Wow. So yeah, I got myself halfway there in a short amount of time. All right, so we're going to continue with building this model now. A view here of our HO structure kit Santa Fe interlocking tower 933-2983 Walthers Cornerstone construction kit, and here it is completed. I have we see how the concrete look dried, and it's actually not really a concrete look. We were looking for kind of a stucco finish with the tester's paint that I recommended at the beginning of this video, and we see it dried really good. We also I put some weathering on the tower. Now these lights here, I have two of them here and here, did not come with the kit, but I thought it would be a really neat effect to put those in, so I added that. Okay, so I added that light there. Also, what I added to this kit is I like to light my buildings, so I also use the let's see, the light diffusing window film from Woodlandscenics. I use this for all my buildings, and so what that does is when you light your buildings, it diffuses the light coming out, and it just gives a pretty good little look to it. So you see it in there inside, so you apply it inside. I also did I painted the interior black so we limit the light leaks. I also put let's see, at the top I put construction paper, some black construction paper. I just kind of wadded it up, put it up in the top there, limit the light leaks through the top. Also, this is a Woodlandscenics plug. Makes it really simplified way of just splicing wires together and then running them under the table. I mean, you just hook them up, you're done. You don't have to worry about electric tape and all that other stuff. So that is how this turned out. Again, I'll kind of rotate it. What I did was I put some weathering on the top so that it gives it kind of like a worn rain look. So on my layout, it should look pretty decent. I mean, it's nowhere near perfect like I'd like it to be, but it's close enough. And so as I rotate it, you'll see what I've done here, how I've done the weathered effect on the concrete. See that, how that turned out? Turned out really good there on this Santa Fe interlocking tower. And so next thing we want to do is take this to the layout and see how it looks. All right? Here is our interlocking tower all lit up, and I plugged it in using the Woodlandscenics Just Plugs, and I'm using Just Plug the plug hubs to light this thing out. And there's my locomotive, and you can see from the other side it lights up pretty good. See how the lights I've added on in front of the doors to hanging wall lights do pretty good, and look pretty realistic. And I really like how the diffusing light on the windows has a really nice effect. So that's how this looks, and it turned out really good.